going on Yellow Brick Road, and let's pretend like we going to find the wizard, because somebody been fucking up ours, and we need to get to the bottom of this. Now let's head on through the OEO boys and the Wicked Witch of the West and these other things that we'll follow on the road.
Okay, I just want to ask, okay, so you get your information from...
General
I mean, you could go to the library. I mean, there's no profound, no secret documents, everything.
Everything is publicly available. Here's a publicly available book. This book here is called The Masons Who Helped Shape Our Nation. And I'm going to hold it here till you move that camera over here to it.
In focus.
Show you right. And oh boy, if you don't move the camera, ain't going to never get on there. You know, I'm going to hold it till you get there. The Masons Who Helped Shape Our Nation. This book you can buy on at the House of the Mother Supreme on 16th Street. It only costs $8. And this was about the Masons who helped found this country. In fact, we're probably in a town, Cambridge, like New Cambridge, like Old Cambridge in England, where Masonic lodges authorized these Americanites to fight against the king and the queen, to form a new society, which illegally incorporated itself in 1776. Well, this is a very important book. It just says that there was a secret society that founded this country and that they were anti-black. And they put the pyramid and the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill. Though they've never been to Africa. I got a copy of it right here. I'll show it to you.
I have the Browder file down there.
We can show it to him right here. How about it, cameraman? We're going to go with it this time. This is the pyramid and the all-seeing eye.
Thanks,
it's on the dollar bill. Come on up close.
Putting you to work, man.
There we go. Come on back. Come on back. There we go. That's on the dollar bill. Everybody recognize that. That's a secret Masonic symbol. And that pyramid and the all-seeing eye is on the dollar bill because this was a incorporation of a secret society. So when anyone says, was there a conspiracy to kill Kennedy? It's been a conspiracy since the beginning.
I mean, now I only saw one of William Cooper's tapes. I take it you've read Behold the Pale Horse.
I have read all forms of literature about who is in power, from the right wing to the left wing, to, like what you have here, the annual report of the Council on Foreign Relations itself. This is the cornerstone of the secret society in America, housed right in New York on 58 East 68th Street. There's a chapter of it right here in Boston with its sister group, the Foreign Policy Association.
You know, I made some calls, and I couldn't get any information on the Boston chapter.
Oh, we'll find them before we leave town. In fact, we need to remind the people that I'm here to give a lecture at Roxbury College this Saturday, and we'll talk more about that
That's
during the program.
Roxbury Community College, 1234 Columbus Avenue. That's this Saturday, November 6th at 7 o'clock. Steve Coakley will be
live, uncensored,
uncensored, naming the names of those who fund and promote white supremacy in America. So, you mentioned the dollar bill. You mentioned economics. I wanted to ask, what values should we hold? I mean, you mentioned miseducation of the Negro. We have this chain around our head. We have this lock. Okay, okay, here we go. There we go. I want to see this here. You see that? We have the chain locked on our heads. We have the miseducation. And we've been trained and taught to value the dollar. Should we? Should we not? Since you said 0.1% have 72% of the wealth, and 28% are fighting over, no, what is it?
99% are fighting over 28%.
Over 28%.
Right.
Should we continue to value the dollar, or?
I think that money is just no more a symbolic rate of exchange. I think what we really want is access to goods and services through some commodity, which is now governed by dollars and coins, certificates of the, et cetera, et cetera. Money is no more than a symbolic rate of exchange. You and I could barter goods and services
without using money.
I think what we want to stop within our community is the perpetration of illegitimate, disrespectful activity for the love or use or gathering of money? Is it good for a person to inform on another person to feed their family? And in some cases, under the gun, misinform on a person, which in fact would jeopardize their life, safety, or ability to provide or protect their family. Would we want, within our society, do we want people to take money in a pulpit to allege to fight a devil, but timidly every day after Sunday be afraid of the beast that roams the planet disguised as a politician, a businessman, an insurance agent, a banker, etc.? When would we not want the value of money to disagree with our overall goal of trying to remove the impediment of white supremacy? And we, as a group of people, I tried to suggest to people that part of why blacks have such high cancer rates, high blood pressure, high kidney failure, high prostate cancer, is because they take shit from white people. The eating of shit from white people will make anybody sick. And have to show up at 8 o'clock to work, eat lunch when they say eat lunch, stay late when they ain't finished with you yet, come in on your off day, stay home on Columbus Day, though you don't believe in it, with pay. These things compel a person to breed cells within their body that self-destruct. And I suggest to our people that we have to get out of the compelling thought that if we don't work for a white person, we won't make it or lack money. And I suggest, as I've gone all over the country and found out didn't nobody know anything about the World Bank, I tell these college students that if you just leave college right now, I was at Syracuse, they pay $23,000 a year tuition. By the time a student leaves, he $92,000 in debt, right? They go out to get a job at $12,000 a year. They'd have to work 5 years and give up every dollar of their salary only to pay the principal on that loan. So the suggestion is that if they knew enough about their own people, they could step up and master information about the World Bank. Go down to 19th Street in Washington, D.C. and pick up the reports, study the books, study the influences, follow the names in the who's who in America, leading to Standard & Poor's interlocking directors, over to Moody's Book of Industrial Corporations. Go through these books and find patterns of names and people or webs of power groups, and then come and explain those things to your people so that they can, in effect, make an impact on themselves. I go all over the country. I go all these African study groups. We love Africa. We love Africa. I say, who run the World Bank? Don't nobody know. I said, well, if y'all talk to an African lately, they will tell you that the World Bank and the IMF are forcing their country into structured solutions that are taking away their ability to run their own economies by compelling high wages, low wages on high prices, and floating their currencies in a way that they strangle their own people. But those institutions are in the middle of the black community in Washington, D.C., and nobody in Washington even knows who runs these institutions. And when I go around the country, ain't nobody even told the people. Now, what does that mean? I don't care what the white people do. But if we don't start making our black newspapers, our black television, and the access to the television that we have start to breed and discuss things of critical importance to us, the naming of the names, and quit these vague things. The white man, the Jewish man, the Pope did it, name them, break it down to which white man, which black man helped the white man suppress the black people.
Wait a minute.
We're even going to talk about the black male secret society, the Boule. It's what it looks like here. This is one of their issues. I'm going to hold it up, camera woman, till you get to it. There we go. This is the Boule. We'll talk a little bit about them. They're a black male secret society. And this Boule means advisors to the king. There is a chapter right here in Boston. They started in 1904. They're patterned on Skull and Bones at Yale, which is right down the bay in New Haven, Connecticut, whose clubhouse is called a tomb, whose initiation is in a coffin. These guys were set up like Skull and Bones at Yale. There are 3,000 black men in a secret society in America that cooperate with other secret societies that in fact make up the leadership / power elite who serve for the owner elite. Rockefeller, Oppenheimer, Rothschild, owner elite.
The guy
Carnegie, Cabot Lodge, operator elite. Bush, Reagan, Carter, Clinton, 1 millionaires, shorty cools.
So basically, with you naming names like that, you're doing a bullseye, a circle, and the boule, would you say, is the outer circle?
Yes, we know that there was a Harvard professor, and those that are watching here in Cambridge will remember a very prominent Harvard professor named Carroll Quigley, very honorable white man, one of the few white men I have great respect for, because he honestly told the truth in a 1,300-page book he wrote called Tragedy and Hope. And in his book called Tragedy and Hope, he identified a secret society, RA, which was a circle within a circle. And his second book is this, called The Anglo-American Establishment. Now, one of his students, one of his most famous students, and I'm going to hold it here till you get it. There you go, by Carroll Quigley, was a professor here at Harvard, was a professor at Princeton, was a professor at Georgetown. Impeccable white source, yes, Carroll Quigley. He wrote this book about the collaboration between the British and the American leadership to form a world power secret society that was a circle within a circle, a circle within a circle, a circle within a circle. And that outer circle is called Association of Helpers, Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations, Federal Reserve Bank, the executive branch, judicial branch, legislative branch, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, U of C, U of Texas, you name it. Outer circle, inner circle, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Rhodes, Oppenheimer. These are the names of the families that make up the inner circle. Well, Carroll Quigley, and I need to read this for the record because I don't want this to be missed. Carroll Quigley identified that Cecil Rhodes, who was a white colonialist, he went to Africa as a part of his Masonic initiation in Britain. He pledged to colonize Africa for Britain. He then took a ship to South Africa, as zany as we know it, and started the process of stealing the gold and the diamond mines. With the assistance of Lord Rothschild of Britain, they formed an amalgamation that led to the Anglo-American Corporation, which is the dominant corporate industrial group in South Africa today. Now, this financial conglomerate, De Beers Diamond Mines, Consolidated Gold Fields, its Engelhard Minerals and Chemicals Corporation, etc., this conglomeration of financial interests had a secret society. Carroll Quigley had the privilege of reading the papers of this secret society to write a history of the world civilization called Tragedy and Hope. It was a 1,300-page book. The book got intercepted by some poor white boys in California, like Bill Cooper and the Eppersons and the New World Order writers, the guys, the little right-wing conspiracy theorists, picked up on Carroll Quigley's left-wing establishment book and told all the little white boys, there's a secret society running America, and unless we go get some street power, which culminated in Ronald Reagan's 1980 election, that this street power then resulted in the co-government of Reagan and Bush, but Carroll Quigley most prominently said that the Rhodes Scholarship Program, which was the money left, and that's important, they should show that book cover. You should show that book cover because I want to show that book cover. He has the cover of Behold a Pale Horse. And as you can see, I have it up here too. I'm going to show you something with it in a minute.